Go get your brushes, go get your paint. This is how you do it, the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, I not have it go. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, I not have it go. Oh, we paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear what I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, I not have it go. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, I not have it go. We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hey guys, we are live. It is Shoshie from Shoshie's Minis, and thank you so much. It is Wednesday night, and we have some followers in the house. Cajun Mage, of course, Proto Maker. He's here with me. Rizar BR, our staff, and Keziah. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody. We are painting. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for subscribing. I thought you just.
I know, right? And it was 16 months.
There's a bug. There's a bug right now, so that if you are a subscriber, you might get multiple, like, hey, you can, resub again or whatever messages. And I am happy to take all of the messages that there are. That's fun for me. So feel free to, if you already subbed and you got a message, then feel free to sub again. Hi, Falcon Punch Drunk. Thank you so much. I just shipped your I just shipped your miniature that you won from me, and I also, Razar BR had the owlbears. I just posted that on my social media, and I also included the unpainted version. So Razar, you can go ahead and paint your own now as well, and then you've got your Shoshie's painted one in addition. So, oh my gosh, Gala Gala, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the class. We're going to be painting today the creature caster. We're going to be painting more of the now I want to, before I show this to you guys, know, hello, mad love to Gala Gala. Before I show this, this is not for the faint of stomach, and don't be eating while I'm painting this, okay? That's a warning. And if you've got kids that are squeamish, he's gross, okay? So he's a Lord of Virulence. I think that's how I say it. It is really good. It's really gross. We decided to name him Mr. McBoily Pants because of all the grossness on his booty. And yeah, so this is what we're gonna be working on. No, shush. Mike's trying to eat, and I told him not to eat while I've got this painted.
Even when I'm not eating, it's gross.
Yes, but especially, yes, owlbears. Good, Razar, I'm so glad you're excited. So we've got this arm glued on already, so that's good. That covers up some of the more gross aspects of his intestines. We did this last time. We did the back and the spine. This particular part of it is mostly done. So we'll be working on some of the aspects of the hand, and then I have another model. So if there's anything on here that you want to see me demonstrate that is already painted, let me know, and I'll go ahead and show you what I did and how I did it. Like the, yes, you're here with spaghetti. Don't, Kazaya. You guys are really like self-torturing, aren't you? Go sit down. He's distracting me. All right. Oh, so before I do that, I'm going to show you something less gross. I finished the Gundam. Yay! What is that?
My phone, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Mike's distracting me more. So this is the Gundam that I finished. I was not able to finish him on stream because we got very frustrated. I did get the helmet done. That was something that I was really not happy with. But yeah, so he's pretty much done, and I'm going to put him in my display case. And I ordered a different Gundam, but I'm going to go ahead and build that with my mentee. And so yeah. Then I have something else to show you guys. Check this out. You're going to get to see a little bit of an unboxing before we get to painting. So stay tuned for the painting, but look at what I got. Look, do you guys know what these are? Do you know what they are? It's the new Scale75 acrylic tube acrylics. I'm so excited. We've got the skin tones and the basic colors. So let's unbox these real quick. I know the Kickstarter is going to be going live very soon, so I thought you might want to see these. They sent them to me to preview and show you guys. I am definitely going to be backing this Kickstarter. And yeah, let's see what these are like. Now, I have had a chance to try these, I will tell you that. Do you remember when I went to the workshop by Julio Cabos? Yeah, I'm highly interested as well. The workshop by Julio Cabos, it was last year in October, I think. And do you remember the horse that I painted? And it was almost entirely airbrushed? Well, that was these paints, and I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. But if you go to my Instagram and you look for the horse, yeah, you can airbrush with these. So I'm very excited. And I'm also just like really excited because I know they're very good. And I know they've been working on them for some time. All right, let's look at the basic colors. In fact, let me get some paper out. Let's see. I need some paper. Oh, here we go. I've got an actual pad of watercolor paper that we can test these on. I guess they're heavy body. Yeah, I got Gala Gala. They're artist quality acrylic paint. So yeah, I think that they're heavy body. Now, I think they're a little bit satin, just like most heavy body acrylics. We're gonna try them out right here. I've never, now see when we did them at Julio's workshop. All right, ooh, there they are. You know what, these remind me a lot of the Winsor Newton tubes. A lot, they smell like acrylics, that's for sure. Ooh, look how pigmented, oh my gosh. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna do this in order here. Here's brown at the bottom. Beautiful. Now, what I do when I test out new paints is that's the full strength, and then I'll fade it out so you can see how pigmented it is. So here's my brush and here's my water. They smell like acrylic. They smell like paint, you know? They smell like, oh, look at this. See, this is what we used. Oh, how lovely. All right, I'm gonna make this bigger so you can see. That's nice. They are very pigmented, and that's what you want with an artist tube acrylic. You don't want, so there we go. Oh my gosh, rich, beautiful color. That's the brown, and it is called sienna, burnt sienna. That's good, burnt sienna umber, interesting. Usually you'll see burnt sienna or burnt umber, but not the same, so that's cool. All right, let's try primary red, rojo primario. Hi, Lamunas, how are you? There's the red, and it is hyper pigmented. It's awesome. All right, let's do this. Yeah, because look at it doesn't really fade into pink. It's just straight red. It's awesome. Let's see what happens when I blend it a little bit. I just want to see what happens. Oh, look at that. See? I get a rich brick red when I mix the brown and the red together. Well, okay, so what I recommend when you get when you get these kinds of paints, make a color chart, and you'll just do one row of each color down, and then the opposite. I think it's the opposite colors across the top, so that you're able to mix them with each other. Good, food good. These are, yes, they are Scale75 tube acrylics. Primary yellow. Ooh, that's nice. That's really bright yellow. That looks like a Hansa yellow maybe, if you were to go with artist colors. All right. There's some red in my brush, so I'm trying not to mix it in. There we go. Yes. Well, here's the thing. If you have good primaries, you can mix. Whoa, that's a really nice yellow. You can mix all the other colors. Let's mix our red over here with our yellow and see if I can get an orange. Now, the secondary colors are very difficult to mix. That's actually a pretty good orange. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah.
It's hard to mix the secondary colors. They usually end up being kind of meh. But that's actually a really nice orange. That just shows you that these are pretty pure. That's a good sign. Let's do a little bit of yellow with the brown. It's not wanting to mix. Okay, there we go. Ooh. So that tells me that this brown has just a little bit of green in it, because you see how it got kind of like a dark ochre color, because I can still see the green in the pigments. You need primary colors, now you want those. Get the Kickstarter. They're coming out very soon. Let's do the brown and let's do the blue. This is primary blue. Azul primario. Ooh, okay, so notice that this is a very light colored blue. It's not like an ultramarine, which I would like to see them come out with an ultramarine. So this blue is, so when you're doing primaries, you technically want cyan yellow, and red and magenta. That's what those would be true primaries. So these aren't true primaries, but so it looks like they tried to get close to a cyan with this blue, but it's still incredibly pigmented. That's good. Let's see what happens. Now here's the test. If we can make a good green with this, it starts tomorrow, 24-hour early bird. Okay, good. I'm gonna set my alarm. Oh, wow. That's a nice green. Let's add a little bit more blue to that. Yeah, it's not a bad green. Notice that it's not like a dark green though. I don't know if we add a little black to our blue, if that's gonna change anything. Let's add a little bit of blue to our red and see if I can get a good purple. Purple is, ooh, see, purple is hard to mix. That's not bad. So far I can tell you the red and the yellow make a great orange. The purple, yeah. So I think they need to come out with a ultramarine blue. And so they may come out, I think I saw in the Kickstarter they had more colors. But these are just the basic sets. So you're gonna want another green, another darker blue, and probably, yeah, the darker blue will definitely make a better purple. So that purple is, and not what I like. I don't like that purple that much. Let's see what happens when I mix the brown and the blue. Okay, bear with me guys, I will be getting to painting in just a second. I just want to really try these. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. That's a really rich dark brown. That is more like a burnt umber, and that is more like a sienna, and this is more like an ochre, like a burnt sienna. Yeah. All right, last two colors. We've got black, art black. Interesting. So here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if I mix the black, ooh, it really comes out fast. Probably because it's shipped from overseas. I want to clean that off. The pressure might have made it come out a little fast. Can I do a test to see how the intensity, absolutely, let's do that. I'm guessing intensity will, like if we add a little bit of this blue, intense blue, do a little bit of intense blue with our blue and see if that makes a better blue. Ooh, ooh, that's pretty. That's a really beautiful ultramarine blue. All right, let's see what happens when I mix a little red with that. That's a really dark purple. See what happens. Oh yeah, look at that. That's my nice purple. It's hard to see on camera, but that's a nice dark purple right there. So, intensity, huh? Yeah. Messy. All right, here's the black. Black is just regular black pretty much, yeah. Looks good. And then the white. I probably have too much color on my brush. This is art white. Interesting. Hopefully it won't bloop out. Now I'm curious if the white is very pigmented, because you know white can sometimes be kind of wishy-washy. Let's see what it looks like when we write. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Shoshie! Let's see what happens when we mix the white and the black together. We can get different colors of gray. Not bad. Good. Do you guys want to see the skin tones, or do you want me to paint some more? I will do whatever you want. All right, so those are the first two colors. I'm really excited about painting with these. I think I might actually try to use some of these. It is a very neutral gray, and that's what you want, because you can mix a little bit of blue and make a cooler gray. See, there's my cooler gray. or if I want to make a warmer gray. That is the thing, is that the Chimera people and the people from Scale75, everybody is trying to help people learn how to do more color mixing. You're going to learn a lot more about color theory. See, there's a nice warm gray. That's cool and that's warm. Just added a smidge of red to it. Get a completely different gray. Skin. Okay, let's see the skin. Now, the skin tone box is, I'm already looking at it and it's already perfect for me. And I'll show you why. Here's the box here, skin tones. Look at what it has right here. That's gonna be moss green. That's gonna be my base for a lot of my skin tones. All right, so we've got moss green. We've got another brown, burnt skin. That's good. We've got this beautiful crimson. Oh, I'm very excited about crimson. Light skin, golden flesh, and pink flesh. Now, you guys have seen me paint skin. Do I ever use paint straight out of the bottle? Very, very seldom. So here's my beautiful green. Oh my gosh, I love it already. It's a nice neutral green, because you need that for Caucasian skin and for olive skin. Let's do this. Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm just gonna paint a base of green and then I'm gonna give you a quick little skin tone demo. All right, there's my beautiful green. You get to see some of my old watercolor skills in action too. All right, let that dry, dry, dry. Here's some burnt skin. Now this is gonna have more red in it. Put some right there. And so you'll be able to use this for, oh yeah, for African skin. Put this on top for shadows. See how the red interacts with the green already and makes a nice dark complexioned shadow. That's a nice dark color. Okay. You're like, what? How is this going to turn into skin tone, Shoshie? I don't get it. Okay. You'll see, you'll see. I need to let that dry though. So here I'm going to make another little base here with just my burnt skin. I like how it's called burnt skin. Thin that out and it'll dry faster. I like how they do dry pretty quickly. That's good. That also means that there's a chance for chalkiness with some of the lighter colors. Let's do a little bit of pink flesh. Ooh, that's a lot different than the label. If you look at it, it's very pink though. It looks a lot like pink flesh from the bottle, from the Scale75 bottle. And now it's magic. All right, let's do this. Yeah, you can layer this up. Let's do a little bit of layering on top of here. Now, if I thin this, I can glaze it out. Oh yeah, it glazes really nice. See how it glazes? Blending is going to be a dream. Airbrushing with these is going to be a dream. Okay, let's say if this is like a cheekbone and then maybe like an eye right here. And the nose. Cool. Okay, so then let's try the golden flesh. Ooh, that's light. That's really light. Anybody have any questions so far? You can ask me. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna layer this on top of this over here. That's a nice, so when you mix this burnt flesh with this one, the golden flesh, it makes a nice kind of tan flesh. It looks pretty good. Let's do a little bit of layering on top of that, see what happens. Looks like Reaper Golden Blonde. Yeah, it does. I agree. All right, let's do, I'm gonna make a, blending. And just like the just like the bottled acrylics, you need to let them dry in between your layers, but it looks like they stay wet enough that you can blend them a little bit more. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. All right, now last one is light skin. Now I'm going to show you something when you start mixing in your other primaries. Are they dead matte? I think they're drying dead matte. But I think they get a little bit more satin with the airbrush. They are dead matte. Look at that. Can you guys see? There's no reflective. That's rare for a tube acrylic to have a matte. That's great. I like that a lot. Ooh, that color looks great against the green. Let's see if I can make an eye a little bit. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Mike's
Choking.
Mike's choking. No choking. There's lots of possibilities for wet blending, I think. What about the purple I mixed with the intensity? It is pretty much also dead matte. Can you guys see? Like this part is still a little bit wet, but it's pretty well. But we're also talking about paper here. I'm pretty sure that it's pretty matte. Yeah. Takes a little bit for some of the color. Now, just like with any artist quality paint, it takes a while for some paints to dry. Some paints dry faster than others. A little black in there. Trying to do sort of a little drawing for you guys. My two-dimensional art skills are really rusty. I've been painting minis for a long time. On paper, it has a semi-gouache. I agree. I think gouache is a good analogy for that. But yeah, I think be able to get quite a bit of, I think I'm gonna love these. I think I might use these right now. Let's try them on the model. All right, enough of this. Let's use this, since we haven't done anything with this. This is the hand to my Mr. McBoily pants. And you can see I've already got black with a zenithal prime of yellow on top. So I just have black and yellow. I don't have any other colors. And let's see if I can mix some of my scales So I need a burgundy, which means I'm gonna need a little bit of burnt sienna. And maybe a little bit of this crimson in here. And maybe a little black. You want, when you use and I highly recommend that when you start, if you get these, just start with these 2 boxes and learn to mix these 2 boxes and see, you know, if you can get away without using other colors, just mix. Okay, oops, okay, so that's the downside. You're gonna wanna put this on a wet palette more than likely so that you're not wasting paint. Let's do that, in fact. Hello, Black Skull. You agree that you would agree that in certain cases? Wait, what was the question? Black Skull, it might be worth a shot, like a subtle sheen. Yeah, that's true. All right, hold on. Let me get these paints out here. All right, so I've got my wet palette here because you're gonna wanna mix to help save paint. I'm gonna make a burgundy. That's a pretty good one. I need a little bit more blue in that. And I think instead of messing with that too blue, I'm gonna add just a blip of this intensity. Okay, yep, that's pretty. Add a little water, a little bit more intensity. It is Panzer Schutze. It is the Scale75 paint. Yes, they are one of my channel sponsors. There we go. That's a really, that's almost like a, oh, that's perfect. This color right here is very similar to my Arbuckle's brown. The really rich reddish brown. So let's see, let's go ahead and see what happens. Thin this out, paint that on. Feels like it paints really nice so far. Oh, it's lovely. Now I'm gonna glaze with just some more water because I don't want to lose my yellows. That looks fine. Okay. It is an evil looking red, yes. So far so good. See how that yellow plays with that? It makes it kind of almost gray. Let's use more water. And we're gonna go there. Into the crevices. And I see he's got another little spot right here that gets some, oh yeah, that looks good. All right, I'm already very happy with the Scale75 paints. And you guys know I'm picky, you know? I'm not gonna, you know, say something that's good if I don't think it's good. Okay, I like that. Let's do the other side. Yes, it is nice. Let's see how it dries because it's still wet. It just looks, and things usually dry lighter, right? They dry lighter. I'm curious how the yellow will layer back over this. Okay. Ooh, look at how beautiful that glazed. That was just this color over that yellow, and it looks awesome. Tube paints last longer than bottles. Well, I think if you're gonna use these paints, you're probably gonna want a wet palette because your paints will last longer. You can pile them up there and then they can kind of absorb. They glaze out nice too. Look at how nice it glazes. Can you guys see that? So pigmented.
Much pigment.
Much pigment. All right, I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second while I use the hairdryer so we can see how this looks when it's dry. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, so remember how I told you how they glaze nice? That means that the pigments are ground really fine. So, okay, so it dried with a little bit of tea staining on her knuckles, but that was more because I had it so wet. If I would have let it dry more naturally, it would probably be fine. Let me show it to you. So, I don't know if you can see. Now, in this creature, it's not going to matter because I'm going to be layering on this, and I'm also, you know, he's got crazy monster skin anyway, so it doesn't matter as much. Let's get all the little necrotic skin in here. Just filling in all my shadows first. It looks really good on the fingers though. Look at how the fingers came out. I have a point about the wet palette. Yeah, the wet palette is just gonna help you waste less paint, because the one thing I have noticed with these is that it does come out really quick, but that's gonna happen with any tube acrylic. And that's just because of the pressure that's in there. But if you have, once you've got it, you know, once it starts coming out, you know, where you've got less paint in the tube, it's not as bad, so. All right. Now, let's see, we need to hold it up next to this dude so we can see where we're going. We're gonna go for something like this arm. We've got a ways to build up. So let's get white and yellow. Get a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. Mike, stop. I'm gonna put more white. You always need a lot of white. That's the other thing. They may want to think about putting out a big tube of white. When you're using tube acrylics, you use a buttload of white. Not using wet palette is madness unless it's pre-made washes. You know, it's funny that you say that. And also, remember what I said about these? These you can airbrush with because of how fine you can liquefy these. All right, let's do, where's the little blue? I have my blue somewhere. Here's this. I need a little bit of blue. And I'm gonna need to mix a little bit of green. Wait. So first thing I wanna do is I wanna make like a purple kind of color with my blue. This is a great lesson in monstrous skin tone mixing. There's my blue, it's really pigmented. Get a little bit of this color. See that kind of, that is perfect. That is basically the same as, where is it? I'm trying to find my colors. I think I put them all in my box. Hold on. 1 second. So it's very similar to this. Look at, if you hold them up, look at that. Boom. That's why you don't need to buy 1,000 bottles of paint. If you learn how to mix, you can do what you want. I can do what I want. I just clapped. All right, so let's see. This, I'm gonna put some of this on these little vein things. Hold on. I feel like I need to take my glasses off for this because I want to be controlled. And I'm gonna go up in here. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's a little watery. That's my, okay, so it's a little watery. You might want to get some medium, some gel medium, because that's the other downside of a wet palette, is that they're going to be constantly glazing out. I like paints to be a little bit thicker. That looks good. So far. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of white, a lot more white. Yellow is strong. Holy cow. We'll put a little peach in here to cut that yellow. There we go. That's much better. It's more of a pastel, dead flesh yellow here. That's pasty. Ooh, I like. And it looks like it's drying slow enough that I can work with it into the blends. And that's a very nice advantage, because flat paints usually dry really quickly. Okay, let me look at your channel. Let's see. How's everyone doing? Hey, Dave's Mini Art, how you doing? Looks like Drow Flesh highlight. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It does look like that. All right, let's see if I can do my boil effect like I did before. I'll put that yellow in there. Oh, this is like a boil coming through the glove. How funny. What game? That coverage is no joke. It is no joke. I agree. Let's do a little bit of this maroon around the edges to give that kind of inflamed skin. Like that. I think that there needs to be a little bit more yellow pigment in here. That's sort of better. It's muddy. Sometimes I need to let stuff dry. Okay, for now the point, what does it taste like? I don't want to taste these, and I'll tell you why. Because they could be, I mean, they're not marked. It doesn't say anything about what's in them. And this could have cadmiums, because if they're real artist tube acrylics, they could have heavy metals in them, particularly the reds and the yellows. And the black, who knows what's in this? It could be lamp black. The titanium could be titanium white. Just don't lick paints, especially if they're not marked and you don't know what's in them. Okay, so I'm not gonna try that for you. Love you guys, but not that much.
No killing the Shoshie.
No killing the Shoshie. I love it. Good, you just got home from a game night. Awesome. Oh, I like that better. That looks much better. I feel like I need a little bit of orange, so I'm gonna get my crimson. We didn't look at crimson yet, did we? We just looked at the red. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so crimson is much brighter and darker than the art red, or the primary red. They look very similar on camera, but there's a slight difference. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of this and see what happens when I mix that with my yellow. Ooh, there we go. So, a little bit of orange around my edges of my boil. It's looking good. I think I still like my washes and everything for my guy. We'll go, yeah, there goes the season finale, exactly. There we go. Oh, I love it. That's nice. I like that kind of slightly orangey boil color. Oh yeah, look at that. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do all of them like that. Needs to have that white undertone here. Looks gross, so gross. Your butt got kicked? Oh, that's too bad. Well, but I'm glad you had fun. All right. Let's see some emotes. If you guys want me to keep painting with the Scale 75 paints, or shall we go back to the regular paints so that you can get an idea? Oh, I really love that. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm proving that you can do everything that I did with the other paints with the Scale 75 paints. That's one thing that's really sticking out in my mind. You definitely want a wet palette or you're never gonna mix that one color of gray again. That looks good. Can I test the stuff I put down earlier to see how it reactivates? Absolutely. I don't think it will reactivate because it's not a watercolor. See, it doesn't reactivate. It is a acrylic paint. See? If I put paint on it, it's gonna stay. Let's do, okay, I'm gonna take glasses off. See if I can get some, you can really glaze this out though, holy cow. I think we're gonna, okay, I wanna tell you something. This is a serious time right now. I think we are in a new era in miniature painting that we are coming into. And this makes me really happy because when I first got into miniature painting as a career, my idea was that I wanted to elevate miniature painting to the art level. Because I came from fine art. I was a professional watercolorist before I was doing this. And I wanted to take it to the next level. And I think that's starting to happen because we're coming out with artist paints and we're gonna get you to start thinking like an artist. And when you start mixing paints and you start seeing color and how it relates to light and how it relates to itself, you can paint anything at that point. I mean, it's gonna change everything. And a lot of the people who are already like high level artists are hopefully gonna pave the way and show you guys how to do this. So let's see. All right, one second. So yeah, okay, so they dry really matte. That's kind of a complaint for me for now because look, all these other paints I've been using are relatively satin. Most of them. It's mostly because I'm using a lot of inks and everything. That's okay, because skin is not matte. Let's see what happens when I add a little bit of gloss medium to it, or even satin medium. Hold on, let me get some satin medium. Ooh, hold on one second. Surface primer. I know I have some over here. Maybe I put it in the box. Okay, here it is. Glaze medium, metal medium, and no, that's metal medium. Mixing medium. Let's try that. So I've got the P3 mixing medium and I've got some glaze medium. I'm gonna see what happens. Satin medium test. Yeah, this will probably be, glaze medium is probably gonna help me make a glaze without it looking chalky. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so let's take glasses off. Ugh, that's lovely. Look at how that looks like a straight up pimple boil, doesn't it? You just want to like pop. Gross. That looks good. See what I mean about sometimes you need a satin in your paint. Like a flat painted boil does not look like a boil at all. Okay, that's not even supposed to be that color. Let's do the red. This is like exposed flesh right here. There we go. And a little crimson with the medium. Let's see what happens when I do the medium with the crimson. Wow. Wow. Look how awesome that looks. Does that look realistic enough? Feather that out a little bit. Yeah, mediums. Just a little medium. So now I'm wondering if Scale75 will put out mediums. They should. Thank you so much for the subscription. Panzer Schütze, I really appreciate that. 2 months in a row. That's awesome. Have any metal medium? Yeah, let's do metal medium. Hold on one second. I do, and I want to show you there's some tricks to do with metal medium that will make it look even more cool. So here's metal medium. Woo! Oh, that's too much. Good thing it's on a wet palette. Let's see. Let's do metal medium on this foil right here. We're gonna put it down. Put it on this one actually. Right there, and then I'm gonna put it right in the middle there. That's lovely. I did metal medium on the intestines to give them that kind of slickery, you know, grossness, right? That's a technical term, slickery. Looks like I need to mix a little metal medium with my yellow and see what happens there. That's better. How does that look? Do a little bit of crimson. So this is just a monstrous skin tone. If I can do this with the monstrous skin tone, imagine what I can do with a regular skin tone. I need a little yellow, because it's funny because like those inflamed areas are actually kind of orangey looking. All right, I'm gonna do a glaze over that, the red. Okay, the metal medium did make it reactivate a little bit. I think it wasn't quite dry. See how it made a little hole? So, that looks good, I like that. Let's see how well it matches. Yeah, it looks pretty good so far. Matches his Boily McBoiler face. I think we need to go with some blues in here. To give it that little bit of a bruised look. I'm gonna glaze it out a little bit. Ooh. I'm only putting the blues in the like crevices of stuff so that you'll be able to see it's a shadowed part of the skin. There we go. White. Red is powerful, so you don't need a lot of red. There we go. Let's see if we've got questions. You got some hype there, good. Yeah, thank you so much for putting that hype out for Panzer. What about when you mix, say, the crimson with the metal medium, not specifically the model, but in general? So you're just gonna get kind of a metallic red probably. Let's see. Put a little bit of, yeah, it turns into like a metallic pink. And that's because metal medium has a lot of white particles in it. So what I would do instead is put the crimson down first, let that dry, and then put a layer of metal, like I did with the yellow. Just a thin layer of the metal medium. Yeah, ink would be good too. But if I do a little bit of metal medium on top, it's not quite as pink. And ink, yeah, ink would help as well. Ink is always going to add pigment. I think though, metal medium is always going to kind of desaturate out a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. Really happy with how that looks right there. That looks exactly how I want it to. All right, I'm gonna set this aside for a minute because I need to use my inks and my washes so that it looks the same as the rest of the model. I don't want to have him have one weird arm. All right, so I've got my Inktense Violet. That's one color that I was using before. That goes in my deep dark shadows. I was using a little bit of this Undead Flesh. I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my palette. Yeah. Are you guys interested in this? Is this fun? I'm hoping. Here we got some Game Color Dead Flesh, which is really, we almost mixed it here with this yellow and this white, and just a smidge of maybe blue, I think it will. Or no, that's very different. If we could probably mix that if we wanted to, probably you need a little bit of brown. Let's see. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh, you can definitely use these paints with your other paints, which I encourage you to do anyway, because yeah, 100% interested, me too. I'm 100% interested. I want the full set. And I don't need any more paints, but gosh, I sure do want these. Aha, gloss varnish. I found the gloss varnish. And then I was using this Secret Weapon Red, which is what I was using for my boils earlier. And where's that other color I'm looking for? Okay. It was the Arbuckle's Brown is what I'm looking for. Or we can use Chestnut also. Like I said, I use a lot of inks and a lot of washes. And then here's the Inktense Wood. And it's got a lot of yellow tones to it. Coverage looks serious. Yeah, next level. You struggle to restrain. Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I mean, you could, but you wouldn't necessarily. These aren't necessarily for gaming models. I mean, I definitely think you can use them for gaming, but I think these are designed for your, like your Scale 75 busts and figures and things like that. Or your creature caster figures. Okay, that's not the right color. Let's do some purple instead. Oh yeah, there we go. That almost looks black. That's perfect. Go around the edges of the inner sleeve here. Okay. Is it time for a stretch break yet? I think it is. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let's take a stretch break. Hold on one second. All right, is everybody gonna get up? Stretch your arms, stretch your legs. I'm gonna stand up here. A little early, yeah, but no, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's almost 8. I feel like I needed it. All right. It's true, I have been sitting here just a little bit longer than... Now, I'm gonna try this sienna, and I'm gonna add a little gloss medium to this and see what happens. I'm gonna paint his leather. Here's my gloss medium. I did see something that Scale 75 is coming out. They've got a retarder coming out, which is great. Because that's something that I think they needed to do, because there we go, that's good. Let's paint this whole thing lovely brown. No, there we go. Class, you're heading home? Okay, thanks so much. Have a good night, Lemonus. Painting this with the, now it's gonna dry, we add a little bit of gloss medium, so I'm hoping it will dry a little glossy, or satin at the very least, because I don't want it to dry flat, that's the main thing. Notice this big brush. This is a Scale 75 1 that I'm using. It doesn't matter what brush you use if you've got pretty good brush control already. You can get a lot done with a bigger brush. Especially when you've got a big miniature already. I think that this gloss medium does cause it to glaze out a little bit. That's okay though. Nice. It is drying a little bit glossier than if I hadn't put it on there. That's a good thing. Okay. So like I said, I do think we're going to be hitting a renaissance of painting in the near future. I think that it's going to be a really exciting time to be involved in miniature painting. It feels like everybody's kind of competing to get out the new product and to be the next new thing. But I really do think it's going to help us in the long run. Now I'm struggling a little bit with brush strokes because of the gloss medium. Put more paint in it and see if that makes a big difference. Yeah, that's better. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. It's already drying, and it is drying a little glossy, which is good. I want that. I'm gonna go ahead and make his claws brown as well. Match his little hooves. He's got some hooves. He is a little demon. Gray silver. Good Lord, that's disgusting. Yeah, look at this. That'll gross you out. Mr. McBoily Pants is what we've decided to name him. Look at that spine. I still can't get over how nasty that is. I bet the sculptor never realized how gross it could get painted. Blurg, exactly. I know. So Ray, I don't know if you're just joining us, but we got some of the Scale75 tube acrylics to try out. And that's actually what I'm using on this guy right now. And it's coming out great. I added a little bit of gloss medium from Vallejo to the paints because these paints are super matte, which is a good thing. It's looking awesome. Thank you, Jimmy. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we got his little claws. Okay. I need a smaller brush, but I'm hesitant. I'm gonna try a little bit of yellow with a little bit of this color over here. And a little bit of peach. Yeah, peach. It's kind of a greenish peach color. And I'm gonna glaze it out. And I'm gonna highlight his knuckles a little bit. I'm hoping to highlight them. I think Mike just fell asleep on the floor. He did. He's snoring. Oh, poor baby. Are you okay, Mike? Oh, he's funny. I like that. You guys can see that okay? So what I'll end up doing here is glazing that back with that red color again. 2 steps up and 1 step down. So it looks really yellow right now. So we'll take some of this red. It's already dry. It's like dry right now. In fact, some of it is drying on my palette even. So you definitely want a wet palette for this. Do a little purple. That's better. That looks better. That pops. A little bit of orangey on this little. There we go. That little boil. And this one too. You've only been watching for a short term, but you've been learning lots. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Now I'm gonna just use a little tiny bit of this metal medium. This is the metal medium. I'm gonna put a little bit on the oil just to give it that little kind of, there we go. Good. Blah, blah, blah. Let's use some red around the edges. Don't even need my just red because this crimson is pretty well perfect for this. crimson all around that. Whoops. Now a little bit of white. We'll mix it with that. We'll mix the white with the kind of, there we go. Only on the highest highlights I'm putting that white mix with a little bit of that flesh color. Oh, the transitions, oh, so good. So I'm really loving these. I really, look at how beautiful that is. I feel like it upped my game. Now, I don't say that about stuff because you don't just like level up from having a paint. But I really do feel like this is helping because the paints are so quality. It's helping me do exactly what I want to do. Like I'm careful about claims, you know? Let's do, oh, that's the metal medium. I don't want too much of that. So there's all these little veins and goodness and stuff in the sculpt. I'm trying to pop that out. See how it looks on our monster because so far I'm not sure that it matches the other feature that I've got. So let's take a peek. Okay, put that in there. Looks good from that side, but that side's hardly painted. Okay, okay. We need some more peaches. You can already see there's peaches. And that looks good. This is the light skin that came with the Scale75. And I talked about this. You want a little peach in your undead creatures because that's what makes them even more horrific. Because it feels like they might have been alive. Or it looks a little bit more alive, right? All right, let me look at chat. I see some people commenting. So gross, big. Big reason you were never a Nurgle fan. Well, good. I mean, look at how nice that matches, though. I'm talking to the people, Mike. So you don't need to answer. It's okay. He's so funny. I'm gonna just get some lighter colors in my shadows. I'm gonna get some more crimson up in here. You know, here, let me take this guy off, and I'm going to use some of my other colors. Did I took out the Just Red. Let's use some Just Red and see how these washes go on top. I'm glad you guys are watching this because I warned everybody it was going to be grody. All right. This again is the wash. I'm going to take glasses off. Oh, love it. That really makes it look good. So the wash is nice because it's already thinned out. You just need to kind of blend it into your skin. Oops, I don't want the crimson. Crimson's too opaque. You could probably make a wash, a Just Red with a little bit of the crimson and some metal medium, maybe. Okay. So like I said before, they do seem like they do glaze out quickly on the on the paint palette. So you could maybe have a little bit of both, possibly a little yellow and a little orange. The gross, whatever these fatty deposit things are in there. Good. Okay. So that dried. This right here was where I put the what you call it? The gloss medium. It looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. I'm gonna try to put a little of this more flat near the edges of the leather or whatever this is, dried skin. I think it's dried skin. Okay. Glaze medium. Yes, thank you, Cajun Mage. Appreciate that. Hi, you got me. Mike, you can at least not snore on my stream. Can you guys hear that? All right, let's put a little bit of glaze. It was on the boils, yes. That doesn't work. We can put some ink on that. Fix that. Not a problem. Mike snore cam. No, he already told me not to put him on cam today. That would be mean. All right. Got a good arm. I feel like there needs to be some more green color up here. Same thing on this end. That's the thing about Undead. You just keep doing purples and greens and all kinds of gross colors, and you're probably gonna nail it. Didn't have to work very hard to get that with the Scale75. That's nice. Hey, like Neon Light, how are you? Don't worry about being late. You missed. We're working with the Scale75 tube acrylics that just came from in the mail for me. And I'm super stoked about it. I'm gonna use a little purple. And I'm gonna do a little glaze of purple so it looks like the ends of his nails are going black because I want those to be scary looking. Purple and brown, when you mix them together, your eye thinks it looks like black, which is perfect. So that looks really, really scary. And then I'll do this little carapace horn up here also. So where his arm cuff thing is, that means the rest of his arm needs to be very bright next to it. So I'll go ahead and see if I can lighten up the knuckles right beside his. There we go. Almost like an overbrush. See, that pops that transition so much more. Same thing over here. This needs to be really bright up next to that. I'm just going to take the edge of my brush and edge line. That I probably should be using some yellow. Ooh. Was it the purple? Do the edge of this over here. I don't want it too edgy or else it'll start looking cartoony. That's good. Same thing with the next to the nails. The lighter that is next to the nails, that will look more up as well. Oh, he's so scary. So scary. Oh. Suddenly I'm from Wisconsin. All right. Get a little bit of the inside of the hand because he is kind of like holding it out. That good? And then this little lip lipoma, whatever. Somebody the other day told me that these little fat globs are like lipomas. Okay, oh my gosh, I feel good about that. We just spent an hour on an arm. Black Skull says, sorry you late. Oh, $50 fine for tardiness. No. All right, let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Good, I like it. Feels gross. He feels so busy, doesn't he? He is strict. Are you a class pet, Black Skull? All right, so now I want to get into the nitty gritty and do some of the little details. I've got a smaller brush now of 0. And I'm gonna, let's see, I think this time I'm gonna grab some Scale75 paints because I want them to make sure to be satin. So I'm gonna use White Sands. This is what I want. This is satin. This is P3 Moldy Ochre, which has excellent coverage. Here's my Arbuckles Brown, which I basically mixed right over there. And what other colors do I need? I think that's it. I need a white. Hold on. This was it, Moon Ray Flesh. That's the other one. All right, let's try that. Let's see if I can't get all my little details in here now with my other colors. So, Moldy Ochre. Put some of that on the palette. Free purveyor of free enterprise, Waka Waka. All right, here's the P3. And I like it. I like P3 also because it is so satin. It's nice. I'm gonna go in here and get all the little goobies, I don't know, pimples, boils, whatever you want. I'll probably put some of that yellow chestnut, possibly not chestnut ink, but the other ink. A little bit of that. Because I don't want this to be flat. I think that looks good. And then over here in the little area right there. Okay. I'm gonna go dry, and then what I did next was I used some of this purple ink. And I'm gonna go around the edges. Just to outline it. Kind of give it a little separation. Completely forgot to make this part here has little horns as well, so I need to make those all nice and dark. I really want this to be like a beetle kind of carapace feel. Yeah, it's already starting to feel like that. I like it. So give me a second. I'm gonna look at chat. Just that alone on top of that brown looks so good. And there's some other little things that could be darker as well. There we go. All right, let me check chat. Someone has to pay the Shoshie mini tribute. Godfather salute in the background. Okay. There's like little cracks in the leather here, and I'm painting that in with a little extra of the purple and the brown mixed together. Here especially, you need that darkness. See? It really brings out the personality of the mini when you... I need a little black ink. I think that's in my thing here. Intense violet. Where'd it go? Intense black. Here it is. Intense black. Teeny tiny small. It is so late. How are you still up? Crazy person. How are you? We're painting the arm. Also, look, we got in the artist scale color artist colors from the acrylic paint from Scale75. So we've been testing those out, and we've also been, ooh, I like that black on the end of the nail. Looks super good. Looks even better than just plain purple. So yeah, we've been playing with that a little bit. Little crevices on that. And then we've got the red, just red from Secret Weapon to put around The different little boils up here. Are they good? So far, I like them. I don't know if they're better than normal paints, but they're artist acrylics. So I would compare them with artist acrylics, not with miniature paints, because they're different properties. I mean, obviously, I'm using them together, which is awesome. And they really do. That's one thing I really like, is that they work great together. So that's a plus. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to back the Kickstarter for sure. I just have to figure out what I can get away with the early bird special. I have a feeling that they're gonna sell that early bird special out really quickly. Oh, so good. Look at how grody. Now we need a little bit of more of this metallic medium and a little bit of the yellow. Just a smidge. Metallic medium and yellow. There we go. Now a little bit of, let's see, let's do metallic medium in this kind of greeny yellow color. It's perfect. It's so gross. Working. Almost. There we go. Yes. How's that? I feel good. I feel good. Have I mixed them with other mini paints yet? No, yes, the whole time we've been mixing them with the other Scale75 paints, and they work great. They work really great with it. This whole model right here, this whole arm is a mix of the Scale75 paints and the new tube acrylics, and I'm pretty happy with them. Hello, Krakenid, check it out. We've got some of the new Scale75 tube acrylics. We've been painting on our creature caster model with them, and so look at the difference. This is with the Scale75, and this is with my other paints. Technically, it's a mix of both. It's like a hybrid, and I'm pretty happy. See, this is peach is the Scale75, and the green. Sorry, the peach is the tube acrylic, and the green is the oh, see, I'm really into this. I can't even talk. Huh? The green is the Scale Fantasy and Games. They really complement each other really well. I'm glad I got them. Okay, let's do a glue. I think we're ready for a glue. Can you put a link to your Stormcast burb, boy? Yes. Can you whisper it to one of my mods? I don't know who is on. Let's see if one of my mods could raise their hand. I think Lamoon's left, but one of them could be here. Hold on. Mike is laying down. Mike? Mike is sleeping. So yeah, go ahead and whisper it to Mike at Protomaker. And could you approve a link since all my other mods are gone? And oh, Razar BR is here, so go back and sleep. For Azarbiar, whisper it to Azarbiar. He is here. You can he can approve the link. We're gonna glue. Let's see, where is my super glue? Here it is. Anyway, I wanted to point out that these are really nice little boxes they've got for these too. I really wish they'd give us a little insert of what is in the paints. And I might suggest that to them because I know there's some states like California is ultra strict. And they want to know all of the paints and the leads and everything. There we go. Yeah, it's got a skin tone paint set. And we used a bunch of this on it. There we go. Thank you, Razar. I really appreciate that. Let's look at this Instagram link by Tiny. Sneaky Tiny Small. Ooh, that looks awesome. Did you use regular metallic metals? Looks like you did, and you used some washes. That looks really nice. So Sneaky's very big. She loves birds, so she liked to, yeah, ooh, exactly. All right, he's looking good. I'm so glad. You can't tell that I used a completely different paint brand, can you? That looks like it really goes together. Okay, let's see what happens when I put his wing on. Hold on a second. I got a box with his wings somewhere. Where is it? Aha, I found it. Under my desk. Ah, it's all metallics. Awesome. That's cool. So here's, oh, that's another arm. I was wondering where my arm was. I found it. So here's one of the wings. Here's the other wing. And then, you guys didn't see it, but I have this is the original base. And so this is an unpainted version. So the version that's painted is basically gross, like widgety grubs with cut, and they've got grubs coming out of them. It's really sick and gross. So there we go. Yeah, follow Sneaky Tiny Small. She streams a little bit, and her and Rubbish Booty are a stream duo that are fun to watch. All right, so let's look at these. See that we gotta take this to this, and I think using my new paints is gonna make this go really fast. Put that up there. So we've got my red. That took a while. That's still wet. That's good. This is the red that I'm gonna use, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of, let's see, let's do purple ink. That's what I did last time, right? Ooh. And then we need a little black, I think, or maybe some brown. Yeah, there we go. Looks good. All right, water. I do need a little bit of black. I think I'm gonna use a little black ink instead. There we go. Perfect. You have a couple questions? Absolutely, ask me all the questions. You have a couple questions. How are the artist paints regarding covering power? We were just talked about this. Watch. So this is primed. They cover like a dream. This is the artist acrylics. And then watch when I want to thin it out and glaze it. It's beautiful. You can airbrush with these. I've done it. I did airbrushing when I was at the Julio Cabos workshop, and it was awesome. Hi, it's Warren. How are you, Warren? Check this out. We're using the new Scale75 artist acrylics, covering like a dream, mixing like a dream. That looks good. It's good. That looks super good, actually. And then you say, how is the size of the pigment compared with the mini? I would say it is possibly finer, because in order to go through an airbrush, it's got to be a very fine brown pigment, right? New scale is always nice. Let me know. Oh, I love them so far. You know, this is my first time using them on when you're just getting to watch me use them on stream, and I'm already really liking how pigmented they are. I'm liking how they cover and how they glaze. My only beef with them is that they are very, very, very matte. If you've used the Joe Sonia artist acrylics, I bet they're about as matte as those. So, but that can be great, because then you can control the matteness. You can add, we've been adding like glaze medium and metal medium and different mediums to see what happens, and they work great too. But you're not stuck. I love that. Look at how gorgeous that is. It covers like, I mean, I had to hardly use any to get this much paint. That would have taken me a lot longer to paint with the miniature paints, just because I would have used a lot more paint, in my opinion. Cat hair. Lots of cat hair right here. Oh my gosh. So far, yeah, so I would say, I mean, like, I've only used them this one time, and I'm thinking like a 9 out of 10 right now. Like I said, they're a little bit matte, and I wish they had a chart saying what's in them. Like, you don't want to lick these because you don't know what's in them. Well, you don't really want to lick paints anyway. But yeah, I broke myself of that habit a while back, because I was using Scale75 paints and my tongue went numb. Again, I don't know if that was because I was taking a lot of antibiotics, or not antibiotics, antihistamines that summer, but I stopped licking my paints for good after that, and I haven't had a problem with it since. There we go. Love this. Let's do a glaze right here. Beautiful. See how it just glazes right over that yellow? Almost like a wash. I don't want to cut those nails. So I want you guys to tell me so far what your opinion is, so that those of you who've been watching can let some of the newer people in here tell me what you guys think based on what you've seen, because, you know, I'm sponsored. I can tell you right now I do like them, but I want to know what you think based on what you've seen. It's not a good endorsement of their safety. I know, and that it does worry me. So I'm going to mention it to them that they need to come out with a safety. They need to come out with an ingredients list or something. That's my only beef, except for the fact that they're really matte. They don't write this color's toxic, exactly. And with artist colors, and I was telling the other people this, yellows and reds particularly can have cadmiums in them, and when they're this pigmented. Lamp black, I don't know if this is lamp black, it just says art black on it. If it has lamp black in it, that's not safe. Like if this is cobalt blue, it's not safe. If white is titanium, that's not safe. These just say art white. You know, I want to know more. So that's something that I think that would be easy for them to do. Yeah, really should not lick brushes. That's just my opinion. Just shouldn't. You don't know, even if you, like even Vallejo, they're just not safe to lick either. Vallejo's gotten in trouble, I believe. They've had some maybe lawsuits. So I think in order to sell these in the US, they're gonna have to come out with something. Are these, yes, Tevison, these are the new tube acrylics from Scale75. I mean, I'm really impressed with them. Look at that, that's awesome. Love it. Let's do a little bit of this yellow, a little bit of greenish. Do this. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think what colors that went into this. I think it was like a green and then a yellow over the top. Let's do a little white. They're painting lovely. Lovely, lovely. You're gonna go sleepsies? Okay, good. You should be in bed. It is late. Nikki is up super late. There we go. I'm really liking that. Kind of do a little bit of an overbrush with that kind of fleshy tan color. Need a little bit more green in there to give that kind of hollowed out. Actually, the green kind of kills the red a little bit too, so that's perfect. So far, they will be available. I think they're gonna open up the Kickstarter tomorrow, right? And you'll be able to get in on the early bird Kickstarter. But yeah, that's how they're funding them. I think it's because they want to make sure, like, it's a new venture for them. They want to make sure people are really interested in it. They're using this to, oh, I love that brown. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you know how miniature companies go with Kickstarters. Pretty typical for them to basically speculate. Let's use a little bit of gloss medium on this claw. Okay. Says the colors are awesome. You seem to be using them with ease. As far as purchasing, I personally won't, but only because I have a pretty hefty collection of paints. I totally understand, because I mean, like I said before, I don't need these. I've got enough paints, but I do like the fact that they integrate so well with my current paints, so that it's not like I don't need them, but it does complement. So they're not gonna get in the way of my other paints, at least. But yeah, I don't need them either, but I really, really, really want them. I do, I can tell. Look at how cool that is. Yeah, I would say they're the only thing. See, I have a degree in art and a background in color. You know, like I took a whole semester of color theory, but kind of know what I'm doing when I'm mixing paints. But I will tell you, once you start learning to mix paints, especially using a small, I mean, all the stuff I've been teaching you guys, use small palettes, you know, all that stuff. it's applicable so much in this context. And it'll make you a better painter, it really will. But I think if you're just gonna paint game minis, and if you know, are pretty happy with your current paint set, I don't think it's necessary to get these. You don't need them. Playing it safe, I can blame, yeah, exactly. Well, it is interesting that so many paint companies are coming out with new lines right now. I find it awesome. And I don't really think that I really don't think they're competing with each other, because like the Chimera paints are different. I think that I want the Chimera paints also. You know, I just have to wait, because the only problem with the Chimera paints is they're doing the pre-orders, and that's actually basically what they're doing here. Is it's essentially a pre-order. So Chimera is a little bit smart, because they're doing the pre-orders. They're kind of skipping Kickstarter, because Kickstarter takes a big chunk, and hoping they can spread word of mouth instead. But they're basically doing the same thing in different ways. Love it, love it. Looks almost exactly the same. I just need a little white, a little bit of white. I think I need a little gloss medium too, or maybe satin medium, because it's a little matte. That's the only thing that's bugging me. There's only so much space in game stores. I don't think these belong in game stores. I just don't. Get the other game paints. These are for miniature painters that are trying to step it up and, like, you know, win competitions, you know, that kind of thing. I think these are a different market, and I don't think they need to be in game stores to sell. So, yeah, I just don't. I'd be surprised to see these in game stores at all. And I'd be happy if I saw them, but I don't think that's where I would put them. Yeah, exactly. It's a niche of a niche. Karakinid says in the EU, paints have to pass some controls to be allowed to be sold inside the EU. If the paint's label doesn't have any warning code on its harmful elements are an officially established limit. So these are made in Spain, and that's the EU. So I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything though, because I don't know. But if I find out more, I mean, it's possible that they just didn't send it to me because I got some, you know, I got the pre, right? I got the before everybody else. Do these little lipomas. What do you call it when you get something pre-release? Maybe I got the pre-release. That's possibly why they don't have any other packaging info on them. And like I said, they have not come out with the full run yet, because they're still waiting to do the Kickstarter. So maybe that's something that we should all, if anybody backs the Kickstarter, we should all mention it. Hey, can we get some safety warnings or safety labels or any kind of ingredients list? Is this titanium white? What kind of white is this? You know, just to encourage the responsible, because even if I don't lick a brush, I care about everybody else who does, right? That's one thing I really like about Kickstarters, is that you can give so much feedback before the product goes to market. And you really become a co-creator. That's another awesome thing. Here we go. That's a nice, yeah, beta. The beta. Yes, I'm the beta. All right, here's some of the Just Red. And put that around. Ooh, that's a lot. That's too much. Just Red is very strong. Yeah, the last thing I want is to be hospitalized from lipping my brush. I don't think you'd be hospitalized, because even if you, I mean, well, so cadmiums are dangerous. They have heavy metals. When I was in school, somebody had an oil painting with red cadmium paint all over it, and somehow a squirrel got into the building and got all over that cadmium paint, and yeah, he did not make it, but I think the cadmium didn't help, but it's possibly also just because the paint itself all over his fur was not healthy either. Yeah. I'm going to back this Kickstarter myself, and I'm going to tell them, let's get some ingredients. Let's get some. There we go. This is looking awesome. Mike's being a dork. I can hear him laughing upstairs. He ditched me. All right, let's compare the two. This one is almost entirely the scale colors, and this is a mix. Oh, I forgot the dried. So I've got another paint called Dried Blood that I got to show you. Hold on. This is a technical paint by Vallejo, and that stuff is like awesome. And it's definitely going to dry a little satin. Have I seen? Yes, I have seen the Kickstarter for the black. I want that too. And I think that you might be able to get some of that pinkest pink in there. I haven't looked at the different levels of the black 3.0, but I want it. Are you thinking about backing it, Rob Jedi, the black 3.0? Kind of just want to be part of it so I can say I'm part of it. You know, because it feels like kind of a phenomenon. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. Yeah, tempted? Okay. So many Kickstarters right now, isn't there? So many opportunities to spend money. And I'm going to Adepticon. And then I'm going to Australia. I'm going to be so broke. No idea what you use it for? Yeah, I don't know either. It would be something special though, right? Okay. There's some highlights that are missing here. Probably need some white, some yellow. White, white, white. I need a pastel. Where's my pastel yellow? Here we go. That looks good. So gross. There's a little bit of metal medium in my brush as well. It's giving it kind of like a sheen. I got a lot of experience painting this stuff from Kingdom Death. There's a lot of grossness in Kingdom Death as well. Kind of think Space Matte painted. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Could you imagine if you had enough of that paint doing like a Death Watch chapter or something like that would have a lot of black already? Be pretty cool. All right. Those look like gross lipomas. Oh, there we go. Where in Australia am I going, Jimmy? So we are flying from LA straight to Brisbane, where I've got some mates. We're gonna spend a few days in Brisbane. Then we're gonna fly down to Canberra and spend, we're gonna go to my mate Sarah's house. And her mom actually works at the Capitol, so she's gonna be able to give me a little tour of Parliament, possibly, and also do Anzac Day. We're gonna hopefully get up really early and do the dawn service. I feel like that is a really big honor to be able to help participate. That's almost like an Australian holiday, you know. And then we're gonna take a little drive. We're gonna see the footy game for AFL in Sydney, and spend some days in Sydney, and then fly back home. I'm very, very keen. If I want to clean up my minis at all, leave the mold lines on, messy joints, and then paint them and you can't see them. Yeah, I'm very excited about Australia. It's funny because some of the stuff that I want to do while I'm in Australia is not very touristy. Like I want to go to Bunnings and get a sausage sizzle. We don't have anything like that in America. Maybe we have hot dog roasts, but that's not the same. And let's see, what else do I want to do that's very Australian? Go to Macca's. I know, isn't that silly? We want to play backdoor cricket, or backyard cricket, and have a barbecue. And then my friend Sarah was like, well, those things are just going to happen. She acted like that's no big deal. Should say hi on Ozfane. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Some of the, I don't know how cool the owners of Oz painters are with that kind of thing, but I could try. I know enough Australian people that I could also message people to help me with the meetup. Oh, I'm very happy with this. Let's look at how this looks. Wait, that goes here, and then this goes here. Ooh, so good. Rawr. Now I have a question for you guys. Do you think I need to tone it down some more and make those wings less like bloody meat sticks? Maybe put some blues in there. Maybe some blues. You'd be welcome to post on there. Awesome. Okay. Yes, it is disgusting, Warren. Super gross. Rob Jedi and Jimmy, are you guys Australian? It is so gross. The blue, it needs the blue. There we go. That makes it look even better. They have a new rule here, Bunnings sausages, is that you have to put the onion on first, because I heard about that and people could slip. Now, do I have to get onion? Because I personally can't eat bread, so I wouldn't be able to eat the bread, but I can have the sausage by itself, and then, so maybe no onion for me. It's a bright 2 p.m. down here. Awesome. Yeah, I think I'm losing like 2 days when we take that plane trip. Look at that. That blue really makes a big difference. It's kind of really gross. Ugh, it looks like raw meat. It says heavy metals are difficult to remove from the body once ingested. The dose may not be harmful. It sounds like you cut and copied that. May not be harmful in the short term, but you may spend 10 years licking paintbrushes with lead paint. You can develop lead poisoning. Yeah, I know. By the way, if the paint contains any lead, it must be quoted in the label by law. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of countries have those laws, so I'll be surprised if they don't have something. The blue is what it needed, guys. It needed it so much. Look at that. It's subtle. Can you see it? The little bits of blue. Hey, how are you? Yes. Okay, I think this, yeah, this is the one I was painting earlier. Do a little blue on this side.
Are you going home?
A little bit, just because I'm on a roll.
Okay.
People are being nice.
The people are always nice.
My people are always nice. All right. Look at this, it looks like raw meat. He's like, no, he doesn't like it. It's too good, isn't it, Mike?
Yes, it's gross. Do not want.
He doesn't like it.
Fantastic paint job, but I don't want to look at it.
I understand. Okay. I think we're in a good place. Let's show off the model one more time. He's so gross. Boily McBoily pants. Does that go in there? Nope, that goes in this one. And then this one goes here. Ooh, and then here's the back. Nose! Didn't seem to hurt it. So funny. But I've got to work on some of that part right here and then blend that in with the flesh. Suitably disgusting, absolutely good. You guys should see the gross intestines. They're hidden now, but they were visible before. Kransky's in the fridge, making you want a sausage sizzle. So another thing, when we go to the footy, Mike's gonna try a meat pie, because he doesn't. You're gonna have to try a meat pie when we go to Australia. I can't eat meat pies because they have wheat. I'm wheat intolerant, so it makes like a lot of things out in other countries not fun for me. But Mike's gonna try it, and I think he's gonna love it because he likes savory things like that. And every Australian I've talked to says you gotta have a meat pie at a footy. So, all right. How about we find somebody to host, and let's see who's out there. Right, let's see. Mocha's Minis. I don't know if she's quitting right now. Riker's Iron is also on. Yeah, Riker's Iron is on.
Go get your brushes, go get your paint.
Okay, Guilo X is painting a very cool miniature. He's a Gunpla guy, but he's painting a miniature tonight. So I am going to host him. Hopefully he'll be good. I've never hosted him. I just met him through Rainer. I know he's one of Rainer's followers. Let's see if we can host him and see what he thinks. All right, let's go ahead and do exclamation point Mad Love, so you guys can all have some emotes if you want to cut and paste this. There you go, cut and paste that. If you do have my emotes, then you can use those when we go ahead and raid him. Hold on one second here. There we go. There he is. All right. I will see you guys on Friday, and hopefully we'll do some more painting on the Creature Caster model. Otherwise, I think I'm going to start a new Kingdom Death model, so that'll be awesome. All right, guys, you take care. We're going to raid in about... Don't forget to spam the emotes. All right, bye, guys.